I think Thursday night is going to be embarrassing for the Dolphins. That's my feel. Like, I think it's legitimately going to be embarrassing. Yesterday wasn't embarrassing. There were embarrassing
No.
moments, and you
Huh.
don't want to be 0-2, but it wasn't embarrassing like opening game against Indianapolis was.
The score wasn't. Look, I'll show you my notes I took during the game. I have a
Don't
frowny face.
don't don't
I have a
get
frowny. I'm
don't
a grown.
misconstrue what I'm saying. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. There were embarrassing moments. Here's what I would say though. In all honesty, and I think Mike McDaniel is short for the job. I'm not certain, if they do get embarrassed on Thursday, I'm not certain he lasts beyond the third game of the season. But the team did not quit on him yesterday.
No.
And I felt like week one, they weren't with him. This one, they went down 2 touchdowns, minus 2 extra points, but they went down 2 touchdowns, and that would have been a perfect opportunity for the team to crumple, to absolutely disappear, rats off a ship, as Tobin likes to say, and just move on with their lives. They didn't do that. They fought back. There were a couple times where you thought they won this game. That, even starting slow, Tua got it turned around. And God bless Devon Achane, by the way. But special teams got it turned around until they didn't. I mean, there were times where you were like, the Dolphins are going to win this game after it seemed like they were on the road to the same kind of game that they had in Indianapolis. So they didn't quit on Mike McDaniel. I did see something. I think I sent it to you guys. Kyle Long talking about it, just saying this team has talent. They are unprepared, and they're not going to win with the current regime.
Unprepared. That 2-minute process, getting the play in, taking delay of games, just penalties, 10 penalties in the game. Huck, we talked about it last week, and I started thinking about it. We said it hasn't been fixed. It hasn't been fixed in 4 years.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel cannot decide on a play when the game's on the line. And we did. I can go if I really want to go back and look. This was the same thing that happened in 2022, his first year as a head coach. And we kind of play caller and kind of gave him a pass. We haven't fixed our 2-minute process in 4 years. And then, you know what? I'm going to tell you something too. I went and hate watched the Atlanta-Minnesota game. Young coach, young quarterbacks. There's no chance that they can be better than us because it's Tua. He's a vet. Mike McDaniel's 4 years in. You know what I noticed? There was a time when Michael Penix couldn't get the call, and he snapped. He was holding his hands over his ears, and he started cussing out. And the commentators even said, I think Michael Penix said he wants to call faster. Another guy was like, no, I think he said more than that. Yeah. He cussed out the sideline like, let's get it going. J.J. McCarthy, who I told y'all wasn't that good, but y'all want to talk about the fourth quarter. We'll get to that sometime.
A couple dimes. Threw a couple dimes.
J.J. McCarthy dropped the ball or did something stupid. He got to the sideline. Kevin O'Connell lit his ass up. Tua and McDaniel, they might be too nice of people or friends. There is no in-game accountability on what's going on here. Tua should have went crazy. Bro, we're driving to win the game down by 6, and you don't know what you want to call? Call a play and let's get this thing going, man. Tua didn't play great, but that process really got to me yesterday. I was hot about that at the end of the game.
Tua mentioned it after the game, too, in words that you don't normally hear him use, which was like, hey, little slow on the uptake here, and I'm going to have a conversation. A strongly worded letter is going to be sent to it was like Kirk Cousins on that show quarterbacks that I watch on Netflix. We send voice memos. I'm going to have to send a strongly worded voice memo to Coach McDaniel about getting the play in on time.
Coach, you don't have a playlist? 3rd and long, 2nd and short, 2nd and medium. Like, hell, I coach and I had a playlist, and I'm not
There's too many options. It's not that he doesn't. There's too much going on. There's too many personnel packages. It's all cute when it's working. It's burdensome when it's not. Remember when the Dolphins had 3 people who got the play call before it went to the quarterback? It was a game of telephone. Super cute if that works, but it's really burdensome if it doesn't. And that's what we're seeing with this McDaniel, inability to get the play in time, getting the right personnel people on the field in time. Like it's a cluster bleep.
And you know what else? And now I'm just mad. We finally forced 2 punts after 6 quarters, and we run one back. What is going on? We have a punt returner, but we can't even force a punt, Mr. Weaver. Listen, I can't say. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, Kyle Long was like, it's not Tua problem. It's a McDaniel problem. Listen, bro, Julian Hill was wide the hell open when he threw that interception. And he was moving that way. You didn't see that man standing over there with his hand in the air? Like, it was a lot going on, but nobody was playing well.
It's why I take issue with a lot of fans yesterday going after Tua, going after Mike McDaniel. It's everything. It's everything. Mm-hmm. And if you can't accept that, if you continue to ignore the obvious, Carter, that last drive was the Dolphins in the McDaniel Greer era summed up into one drive. The offensive line with 2 backups crumbling on that last play. When you need protection, allow Tua to hopefully try to make something happen. The right side of the line with 2 backups in week 2 crumbles and Tua gets sacked. And Mike McDaniel, Larry Borum, and Keon Smith.
71. 71's name is what?
I think that's Keon Smith.
That's Keon Smith. Man,
Keon Smith. Listen, Keon, you got to see me. If I see you at Publix, you got to see me.
Keon Smith? Be careful. Well, be careful what you wish for.
If you see me and Hawk at Publix, you got to see me.
Crowder, he wouldn't be starting, probably not on a team anywhere. Like it just that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't invest into the offensive line. And then Mike McDaniel, the one thing that can't happen, which is miscommunication, undisciplined plays, guys not knowing what to do in that situation. That's the one thing that couldn't happen. And it's happening in the most important part of the game. Like it's literally a microcosm of their entire tenure here on one drive, everything falling apart.
Beyond that, the coach looks rattled. I'm doing the visual game here where, because they're losing, he looks rattled. But he does. He doesn't look like he's in control. Tua doesn't look close to the way he looked in 2023. I mean, close. Even when he's, that pass to Waddle, the first touchdown, excellent throw. That was perfect. But those are too few and far between. He just doesn't look like himself. The drives where he needs to win the game or get them into position to tie the game, he just still has an inability to do that. This is where he should be excelling at that. And again, offensive line isn't helping him out. I get that. Like, there's a lot at play. Bottom line is there's not just one thing to fix here. This seems to be an entire team problem from the coaching staff on down. They have to play flawless football to get by a bad team. That's they have to play flawless football to get by a bad team. Imagine what they're going to have to do Thursday night to stay in the game, just to stay in the game.
Yep. He sailed one on Tyreek early. That's when Tyreek snapped on the sideline.
Yep.
And then the underthrow to Tyreek. If he gets that ball out there, Tyreek catches it in stride, he scores 7. That was a field goal. So now I'm doing math. Now you're trying to get a field goal to win the game and not a touchdown on the buffled drive and mismanagement of the 2-minute. To your point, Hawk, it has to be perfect football, but everybody's accountable for this. That defensive front, bro, Ramondre, what's his name?
Ramondre.
He is Eric Dickerson. He's catching balls out the backfield.
It was crazy.
He's running straight down the middle for 6 yards a pop. That was frustrating. I was listening to it on radio, and I'm like, it can't be as bad as Joe Rose and Cephalo's making it sound. So I had to go back and watch it because I had it recorded. We're not playing good football, period. I know the score, whatever you want to say. We're 0-2. That is not NFL football. So one of y'all just said the guys have to know who's in the huddle. That's Pop Warner. What people are in the huddle is Pop Warner. Bro, I don't know if I've been this frustrated watching a football game, and I watched it recorded, so now I'm mad listening and I'm mad watching.
But we should have known. Like, I hate to do this, but like we knew this is what was coming.
They didn't look like this. They
Hawk.
have not, in Mike McDaniel's tenure and Tua's tenure, looked like this when McDaniel and Tua are out there. They haven't.
I get what you're saying, Hawk, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Mike McDaniel looking rattled, Tua not looking comfortable under center. Those things for sure weren't common. But and maybe that's part of the nerves. Maybe that's part of the fact that yesterday, Crowder, you texted us, this drive is for multiple people's livelihood, their jobs. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's part of it. But Hawk, the roster itself, the fact that Chris Grier has constantly, while GM, relied on guys who are injury prone, and the fact that he refuses to go find depth at the most important parts of the roster, offensive and defensive line. I mean, the script in the NFL to win is out on every great team. And Chris Grier does not take any sort of action on the most important parts of the field, especially when you have an injury-prone quarterback. And then the secondary all season, we're talking about major flaws in roster construction there. And you're seeing it come to fruition. You're relying on a pass rush, which ultimately every team knows, hey, keep our quarterback upright. We're going to be good. We're going to be okay. You can't stop the run. You didn't fill Calais Campbell properly. Like, it's just all around, everything is crumbling for this team. It's unfortunate.
Can't argue it. But again, I would submit to you, which is what Chris Grier believed, which is a healthy Tua and a reinvigorated Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane. He's the only guy who looks great to me, Devon Achane. Like, he gets the ball in his hands. He's going to make something happen. Like, and we talked, I mean, we thought the front seven was going to be a stalwart line that teams would have difficult running on, or they'd be getting to the quarterback a lot and putting some pressure on him, alleviating the secondary problems, which we knew existed. Like, none of it's panned out. And I do think there's something to be said. Play that Kyle Long sound. Do you have that? That's Kyle Long. Was it on CBS? I think it was on CBS. This is Kyle Long saying, hey, there's like, this just seems to be coming from Mike McDaniel and an issue with, and man, I mean, you can't help but listen to him post game and wonder what players are thinking when he talks the way that he talks.
He said, to win the game, you have to win. You can't win when you lose.
That's right.
That's what you're going to tell me after you just bumbled the 2 minute.
In fairness, though, Denzel Washington said that in an Oscar speech once, and you stood up and applauded.
I can't believe I'm going to die on this hill because I am the only person who's going to defend Mike McDaniel. That clip that everybody's cutting, just those like that 2-sentence clip, sounds ridiculous. But when you listen to everything he's saying with the context, I kind of agree what he's saying. And it sounds funny, but he wasn't wrong. Like, it's cutesy
Please explain
stuff.
it. So, explain it to me, Solana.
I'll play you the
I didn't hear the whole clip.
I'll play
like
the Kyle Long.
Like Kyle Long, because I think this is, and Kyle Long, by the way, friend of the program. If you recall, during Super Bowl week, he went and got beignets with Josh Appel for us at the mall.
The banner flying over the stadium, it says "Fire Mike McDaniel." And I just want to make sure that if you are going to point fingers in South Florida, don't do it at Tua, because what I saw today was a quarterback who was going through his process, and he looked like the guy we've seen have success previously. But in terms of leadership, in terms of organization, top-down respect, leadership, I'm not in the building, but what I can glean from watching this team on film and every Sunday now, they're just not ready to win. And while they have good players on their team, they're not a good team.
I mean, that final sentence to me is kind of on the money. While they have good players on this team, they're not a good team. So what is if you had to be the doctor who diagnoses all the results, the test results that you're looking at, you've got good players, but they're not a good team. What exactly do you do with that? What's the diagnosis?
You have great ingredients and not a good chef. We could say it in a lot of different ways, Hawk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's back on Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
And I think I do believe he's a smart kid. Now the nerd boy thing gets to me, hearing Rex say it. I do believe he's a smart football mind. There's some people that shouldn't lead teams.
Or certain teams need a certain type of leader. I'm not saying that he could never be successful as a head coach. I'm having a tough time getting to the place that with this particular roster construct, him having success as a head coach.
But we found out, Chris Greer has been open about this, that Mike McDaniel had a say in the types of players that Chris Greer went out and signed.
No. I don't think
it's interesting. It's interesting that they built a team basically to maximize his strengths as a head coach. And he was this star whisperer, this superstar whisperer in the locker room. And I get it, man. Like things kind of snowball a little bit and he's lost control. But like, these are the guys he wanted.
They chose a path, which was nice, friendly, and collaborative. I remember the press conference Chris Greer gave when they let Brian Flores go. And I'm not rewriting history. I was not a fan of Brian Flores, and I prefer a collaborative approach to things anyway. But they were very clear. Brian Flores was abrasive, not just to players, but to the front office. And they wanted specifically a nice guy who would be collaborative. And that's who they hired. It just hasn't worked. But this was a direct decision. Like they said to themselves, we want to do the opposite. We want to have the opposite of what we have with Brian Flores. We want a nice guy who collaborates, who's not going to scream and yell in the halls. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work, but this was a choice.
And Hawk, it's argumentative. I was going to say it's not argument. It's very. Name the Brian Flores that's successful.
Well, there's a bunch. I mean, Brian Flores is successful in Minnesota as a defensive coordinator.
Name the McDaniels that are successful. The pleasant, don't yell, happy to see you guy.
I think it can exist. I think Tony Dungy certainly. I'm a Super Bowl champion. So he was never going to get in someone's face and scream, and he was never going to. I mean, Brian Flores, we know, had issues with the general manager and therefore the owner, and he, they were looking for more of the Tony Dungy type, someone who could coach so well and do it without being abrasive. They didn't like what the facility felt like when Brian Flores was there. It was obvious. They told you.
Yeah. And I think Flores is an extreme. Flores is an extreme, but we talked about the Belichicks and even like Andy Reid. Andy Reid is not hey, let's go out to come to my house for Thanksgiving dinner. He's no guy like that. Go do your damn job. We're going to win some games and get a ring and we'll be good to go.
I don't understand the take today. I got this a lot in my mentions, like, oh, we all owe Brian Flores a big apology in Miami.
No.
And I'm not saying everything went down properly there. Like, I understand there's a lawsuit at play and whatever. I don't understand that take. Like, Brian Flores makes this team better?
Get on the boat with Brady. Flo, get on the boat.
What?
Get on the boat with Brady.
It might have been a misstep.
Guy missed the playoffs.
Using that behavior. Get on the boat.
Or Hawk, don't win 5 games. Don't beat the Bengals in 2019. I mean, we had 93 different players that season. You're cutting anybody who's making a good play. You're benching them. Stop winning games, guy. What are you doing? We could have Joe Burrow.
All right, we have a lot to get to today. Will Manso is going to join.
Today's not a good argument. Hey, Flo, did you know Bijan Robinson's about to get this football?
Right.
Because he's about to get this football.
You do something. Meeting with Brady.
He makes bad decisions sometimes.
He makes bad decisions. Will Manso is going to join us today. John Michaels is going to join us today. Here's the good news. We have another chance for you to win these tickets for Mike Tyson. He's bringing his Return of the Mike show to Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood in December. And it's stories and more from Iron Mike. He did an interview with Tobin and Leroy last week. If you heard, it was very good. We have a chance for you to win tickets. Code word today is dynamite. Text the word dynamite to 20357. That's 20357. For more info, you can go to WQAM.com. It's a text contest, so message and data rates may apply. Do not text and drive. Tickets are available for purchase as well on Ticketmaster. But if you want to win the tickets for Return of the Mike coming to Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, text the word dynamite to 20357. That's 20357. Real quick look at the headlines here, brought to you by Durrell Hyundai, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Durrell Hyundai or DurrellHyundai.com.
Yeah, man, the big stories, obviously, other than the Dolphins losing, they're going to play Thursday night. The Canes blow out USF. I never want to hear anything about USF ever again. Genuinely, I never want to hear. Thank God Miami doesn't play them anymore. Crowder, UF should cancel them off their schedule too. Just enough with USF. Enough.
UF needs to burn their cleats.
They need to use FIU's leftover garage sale unis.
Don't start with that, because FIU back on top, baby. Shula Bowl winners, first time since 2016. Shout out to Willie Simmons, big time.
What were they walking off there with? You sent a picture of it. Is it like a cadenza? What is that?
No, it's a trophy, jackass.
What was that? The winner gets some sort of credenza?
It's a cadenza bowl.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not making fun of FIU today, Jack.
What do you put in there? Like towels or stuff? After you win the game, you get the credenza?
Jack, don't do that. Not today. Not today, Jack. Not today. Pause up. Game day. Game day will be in Coral Gables this week, ladies and gentlemen. In Coral Gables.
That's big time.
And we got a doubleheader rather, in Monday Night Football tonight. Starting at 7, Texans, Buccaneers, and then the late game, Raiders versus the Chargers. 10 p.m.
What's it called? Is it a credenza? I don't even know what the word is. Yeah, credenza. Credenza. So what they got together and they're like, hey, when FIU plays FAU, we need something. How about like some sort of Naugahyde credenza that the winning team can walk away with?
What's the thing that people used to put TVs in and close when we were young?
It was essentially like a TV credenza.
Why is it 6 feet tall? That's not a trophy.
It was like good Greek moving and storage, moving the thing across the field,
bro.
Celebration door.
That Selly went hard, man. They grabbed the trophy. They ripped the FAU helmet off of it. Everybody was stepping on it. KJ Owens was biting the face mask. They ripped it apart. That Selly went hard, man. At midnight,
what happens? Like the Stanley Cup, where each person gets the credenza for a week.
Yeah, well, we're getting it for a week on the show. Yeah,
put some items in there. It's a time capsule. They bury it, dig it up 10 years later.
I don't know why that popped into my head.
I don't know what you're laughing at, UFN. I mean, the Gators. I think a literal credenza might have a better chance against your schedule the next 6 weeks.
I mean,
than the Florida Gators do.
All your media requests for the next week are just to talk and defend losers.
I left a party in Orlando. I saw what was about to happen, and my wife was there. I was like, "Hey, y'all, let's head on out." Oh no, we're playing cards. There was other kids there. I was like, no, let's go ahead and leave, because I watched the first half and I was like, this ain't going the way we want it to. You're sitting at the hotel drinking little soup. The Campbell's microwavables. I'm drinking a microwavable Campbell's soup.
Your weather, it is a gorgeous day right now, ladies and gentlemen. No rain So I'll take it. Back to you.
Pitbull Stadium now being called the Armoire. We got a big one at the Armoire this weekend.
That's the name, the Armoire.